I guess, test all your ideas.
I think the biggest lesson learned for me, and we joke about this all the time, is to never let school get in the way of your education. There's a lot to be said for this Launchpad process, and there's a lot to be said for getting outside of the building and talking to customers and engaging with people and learning as much as you possibly can about what it's really like when you, do come to real life, or come to that crossroad between graduation and real life anyway. So that's a big lesson learned for me in the past year.
I would say the biggest lesson I learned is that you can't do it yourself. That was something, in the very early days of any company, you typically do everything yourself. You wear, the janitor hat, the CEO hat, the finance hat. But ultimately, if you want to build a scalable business that can create you a great deal of abundance, be it of wealth or value, you need to be able to scale yourself. And you need to be able to, I think, know yourself better than anybody else, because when you have that depth of self-assessment and awareness, that's where you can really surround yourself with the right team, the right people, to actualize something that you're responsible for having a vision for.
I say this a lot, but I really believe it. It takes a community to truly let an entrepreneur thrive, especially youth entrepreneurs or young adults or young women or young men. And I think that the more that you embrace the community, the more that you reach out when you're not sure of something. Most of the time you don't even know what you don't know. The more you help others achieve what they need to do as well, and actually build that community around you, not the easier it is to be an entrepreneur, because it really is, it's tough. It's not all glamorous at all, but the better the journey is.
Learning how to keep yourself healthy, eating the right types of food, working out, those play a huge part, not both on your mental capacity and your physical capacity as well. There's times, again, the entrepreneurship experience, it's crazy. It's pretty much like war, and you have to have the mental capacity to be able to make the right decisions. But physically, it's also demanding as well with the long hours. So being able to sort of stay sane, stay healthy, stay in good shape, really goes a long way in helping you become, I guess, successful while you're running your business.
Follow your instincts. So there's a time early in the startup where you're getting mentored from all angles, and if you really are committed to what you're doing, and it's something you care about and you love, and you really have taken the time to learn that there's an opportunity there, you got to follow your instincts, because you'll get advice from all over the place. And if you start doing what other people say entirely, you can really get off the rails. So I had a couple of mistakes, misjudgments, even in people. And assessing people is kind of one of my strengths, like empathizing with people. And I was letting external voices weigh in too heavily on my decision making. And I should have been following my gut and acting sooner, and following my heart, exactly, because that's one of your core strengths. So it might not be following your instincts for other people, maybe it's actually following your core strengths. Do what you're best at as much as you can, and have faith in it.
So both of my co-founders are older than me. They've got a lot more experience than I have. So I think it's partly just age, and I think it's thinking, because I'm young, I don't have the abilities that they have. And while experience speaks volumes, so does the experiences that a fresher mind or a younger mind brings as well. So it's kind of a combination of everything, and ultimately you can learn something, you can pick up on something and listen to your gut, and if you kind of align all those little things, you really will figure it out.
Let's assume that your idea isn't right, and let's go out in the market and test it, and let people tell you what they want to buy, and let people tell you what they want to build. I think I was going at entrepreneurship with this notion of, if I come up with a cool thing, people are going to want to buy it. And instead, it makes way more sense, and it's certainly a lot easier, is just go out and talk to everybody, figure out what it is you want to buy, and I will be back in 6 months with it. And that's how it should go. And that was the biggest eye-opener for me, right? I thought you needed to have an idea, and I thought you needed to be smart, and I thought you needed to have all the answers. And it was intimidating, right? I've struggled in school my entire life, and I don't think I'm particularly smart. But if you go out and talk to enough people and they tell you what they want, there's your answer. You don't need to make it up, and you don't need to know. And that was the biggest insight. And it's really encouraging, because it means that any situation you're in, no matter where your product's going, no matter what market you're getting into, you can go back to this notion of, I'm just going to ask good questions, talk to as many people as I can, and the answer will be there. I just need to listen for it, right? And so that's encouraging, right? That makes me feel like we can do anything and tackle any market if you have that approach.